Another 4.4 million Americans applied for unemployment benefits last week. So far, 26.5 million people filed claims since March 14th. The last 5 weeks mark the most sudden surge in jobless claims, and that is since the Labor Department started tracking the data in 1967. The numbers show about 16% of the U.S. labor force is suffering from layoffs, furloughs, or reduced hours during the pandemic. And according to the Alabama Department of Labor, more than 66,000 of those claims come from our state. Nearly 60,000 of those are related to coronavirus. While it is a lot of claims, it is about 11,000 fewer than the week before. And tonight, I am joined by the Alabama Department of Labor Secretary Fitzgerald Washington. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
So what is the current unemployment rate?
The current unemployment rate for March is 3.5%, which is 0.8% from where it was last month at 2.7%. The number of people working right now stands at 2.1 million, so it showed a decline of about 24,000 people over the year.
And so how high do you see the numbers getting during this pandemic?
Well, we do anticipate that the unemployment rate for April will be an uptick just based on the mass layoffs in the month of April. So we will announce the unemployment rate for April sometime in mid-May.
Do you have any tentative projections?
Not at the current time. No, I don't. But I do anticipate it to be an uptick from where it is right now at 3.5%.
And let's talk about recovery. How long will it take for us to recover from this?
Well, right now, we're so focused on stabilization and recovery. We are focused on getting people paid. Once we get people paid to where we get to that 100% level, then we're certainly focused on stabilization and recovery.
So you say we're just not there yet, and we got to be where we are.
Yes. Again, our primary focus is to make sure that people get their claim file, a successful claim file, and then we'll start focusing on the recovery efforts.
And these are just such unprecedented times. Has the Labor Department ever dealt with anything remotely similar to this before?
Yeah, we're definitely in uncharted waters right now. One of the things that has taken a little bit of time is the guidance that we have gotten from the USDOL. The guidance has been a little bit slow. If you recall, President Trump signed the CARES Act on March 27th. We didn't get guidance until a week and a half later in terms of how can we pull the trigger on paying out some of the benefits in the CARES Act programs. And
so how did that impact you and your ability to do your job?
Yeah, it was difficult. There's no question about that. But in order for us to move forward in terms of how we pull the money down, the funds down to pay people that needed it, we needed clear guidance. And again, that guidance has come a little bit slow. But as soon as we get the guidance, we move forward on it. You take, for example, we didn't get clear guidance on the $600 weekly payout until April the 7th. Again, the president signed the deal on March 27th. So overnight, we were able to pull the trigger and we paid out $40 million overnight once we got that guidance.
And you mentioned that lack of guidance. How frustrating has that been?
It's been a little frustrating, no question about it. We've been on constant calls with USDOL to let them hear our voice that we need clear guidance because we know so many people have been impacted by the pandemic through no fault of their own. And those benefits, they're available for them. So we need those clear guidance so we can go ahead and get this much-needed benefit into those people's hands.
Yeah, I can only imagine how frustrating that must feel, like being almost paralyzed as an organization. So how does this compare to 2008?
Well, 2008 was before my time. This is totally different in that this pandemic has sort of raised a lot of awareness for a lot of issues that we've never had to deal with before. And so I'm on the phone with my team on a daily basis, making sure that we've got the right processes, right plans in place so that we, again, can have positive outcomes with what we're responsible with.
And you talk about this being uncharted territory and having to sort of make the plan as you go. Any big takeaways that you said, this is working and we may implement this the next, hopefully we don't ever have another pandemic, but the next time there's a situation like this?
Yeah, you bring up a good point because this is a very, very fluid situation. We can come up with a plan and a strategy today, and then we may get some directions from the federal government tomorrow that we'll have to scrap that plan and retool and put together a much better plan. So, again, we can be as effective as we can be.
What are some of the things that your department has changed?
But one thing we did to speed up the process, we moved our unemployment claims system into a cloud-based system. So that really has expedited the speed in which claims are filed. I've already mentioned, too, that we hired a outside vendor group to take in some of the demands of the call. And then thirdly, we put together a really nice tool called the Unemployment Information Tracker. And that tracker will allow a first-time claimant to track their claim from start all the way to the end when those benefits show up.
And how do people access that online tracker?
They go online at our website, which is labor.alabama.gov, and click on the COVID-19 link, and you'll be able to see the tracker.
And because of sort of the challenges that you face, do you anticipate maybe some adjustments to streamlining some of these processes?
Oh, no question about it. If there's new technology, new things that we can do to try to help, again, speed the process up, we certainly will be open to look at those.
And so what is maybe working well that you think could potentially become the new norm?
Well, we try to get the information out there. We send out news releases almost not every day, every other day, just to kind of let people know how we've improved the system as we get the information.
Based on what you're seeing and what people are going through in our community, should unemployment benefits go up?
That's something that the lawmakers will have to decide. Our role at the Department of Labor is to administer what the state lawmakers suggest. And so if there's a suggestion the lawmakers will improve on in terms of length of benefits, how much the benefits are, our role at the agency is just to administer those programs.
But in terms of the people that you're interacting with and hearing what they say, I know they're grateful to get whatever they can during this difficult time, but did they tell you they could use more?
Yeah, in a lot of cases, we hear that all the time. But again, the unemployment benefit program is to help and provide a temporary financial relief just to buy you some time so that you can re-enter the workforce.
And, you know, we hate to see this happen, but on the other side of the fence, are you concerned that there are people out there that may choose to stay unemployed because they actually make more money from that check than they do at their own profession? Is that an issue?
Yeah, that question has come up. The CARES Act, one of the CARES Act program, that $600 weekly stimulus, that stimulus is only good through July 31st of this year. So, again, if an employer resumes operation between now and the end of July, all they have to do is let us know through the new hire process system that they're ramping up operations. If there's individuals that decide they don't want to go back to work, they need to let us know, the employer lets us know, and then we can seek those benefits.
And going back to the unemployment rate, 3.5% unemployment, what does that mean?
Well, it means that there are more people that lost jobs than we experienced the 3 months prior. We went 3 months in a row, December, January, February, where we were at a historic low in our unemployment rate of 2.7%. And all of a sudden, we hit that point in mid-March where there started to be mass layoffs, and that impacted our unemployment rate to where it moved up from 2.7 to 3.5.
And so those percentage points in terms of numbers, what does that translate into? How many people are without a job?
Right now, we reported that there are 79,000 people that are unemployed, and that was in our report for the month of March.
That's tremendous. During the recession, unemployment went into the double digits, we know, but just incredibly hard times for so many people right now. We're going to